And yo, what's good with y'all, man? Welcome back to Random Reacts, bro. We finna react to animals that can't stop getting hot, you know what I'm saying? Like me, myself, and I. Or if you want me to say Flight. You know Flight, you love getting hot, Flight. If you're new here, go ahead, subscribe. We dropping bangers, of course. Damn, I just poked myself in the eye. And based off this picture, I'm guessing this gonna be crazy. This koala bear, he definitely don't look alright. He look fried.
Let's get the easy ones out of the way and slowly work our way up to the worst offenders on the list. Number 10, cats.
10.
This one is more of a misconception rather than an animal actually abusing a substance. If you have a cat, then you've more than likely tried giving them Nepeta cataria, or better known as catnip. Now, this one is not really a drug like the others on the list and is actually an herb that is very closely related to mint, but it does contain a compound called nepentolactone, which can have a mild and temporary stimulant effect on some cats. And that's the thing with catnip. Some cats are affected by it and will go absolutely crazy for it, while others just remind you that—
Hold on. So the cat become a fiend if he don't get the catnip. Y'all need to make sure y'all feeding y'all cats catnip before he go crazy like that cat on this. What the fuck? Look at that cat. Bro, the cat got an asshole, bro. Bro, he look more higher than the cat, bro. The cat got an asshole, and this nigga
not by their love, and they still don't want anything to do with you. Now, catnip has many different effects on cats, but here are the most common ones. They will roll around in it. They will become very hyper after they ingest it, or they might just become very relaxed.
Crazy.
Number 9, dolphins.
I didn't know that.
This is another common one that most people have probably heard of. Everybody loves telling the story when they themselves are under the influence, so let's just get this one out of the way. Yes,
I ain't never told that story one time getting high, bro, so I don't know what they mean.
Losers who love to get high. They do this by first
why they call them losers, bro?
And proceeding to take turns lightly biting on it. Not only will they nudge and bite the pufferfish, the potted dolphins will take it a step further by launching him out of the water and playing catch with him, making sure that pufferfish is completely traumatized for them to go into a full panic, triggering its defense mechanism, releasing a toxic poison called tetrodotoxin, which is one of the most deadly poisons in the world. To put it into perspective, one pufferfish has enough poison to kill 30 adult humans, or about 15 average-size Americans. Now, even though it's deadly, dolphins have learned exactly how much of the poison they can tolerate without dying. They've actually been filmed passing the puffer around for 20 to 30 minutes at a time before letting it swim off. The effects that the poison has on the dolphins is pretty interesting. They seem to go into a euphoric state where they become very calm and relaxed, even being mesmerized and completely fascinated by their own reflection on the surface of the water. Number 8, birds. Okay, now we're getting to the ones that most people have not heard of, but have probably seen firsthand. Have you ever come across a dead bird that crashed into a window or building, and you sit there wondering, how is it possible that it had unlimited airspace to fly around in, and yet still managed to crash? Well, the truth is that it was probably flying under the influence. This usually happens after the first.
Why it's not illegal for them, but it's illegal for us, bro.
Look at this dude.
Ethanol, a type of alcohol. And of course, birds know this. They will then proceed to eat as much of the fermented fruit or berries as they can to get completely hammered. And in certain parts of the world, bird alcoholism is on the rise. Just look at Yukon, Canada, where they have built a sanctuary for birds that have had too much of the booze, which is basically a drunk tank for birds. Here, they are placed in tiny cages until they sober up, but as soon as they do, they are released back into the wild where they can continue boozing. So next time you see a bird that isn't flying straight, just remember, he's probably a degenerate good-for-nothing alcoholic. Number 7, honeybees. This one is similar to number 8.
I feel like I already knew that bees get
this one, but once you hear about it, you'll realize that you've come across it at one point in your life. Now, this one is a little more violent and doesn't have the ending that you would find at a massage parlor. Have you ever come across a honeybee that's crawling?
Damn, his forehead big as hell.
This
shit receding.
Because the bee had recently stung someone and is now dying a horrible and painfully slow death. But now as an adult, I am way more informed. Now, when I come across a crawling bee, I now know that it's either completely blocked out drunk or dying a horrible and painfully slow death.
Yeah, man.
You see, when the temperatures rise, the nectar in plants can become fermented, and you guessed it, it becomes alcohol. So when bees go to collect pollen from the plant and drink some of that sweet fermented nectar, they get completely drunk. And this is when you might find a bee that lost all control of its sense of direction and motor skills. Now, the sad part
need to
is, if
sting
by
him.
some miracle the bee manages to return back to its hive, it will have to go through the guard bees. Think of these guys as the bouncers of the hive,
Oh, if
but
you
a
drunk,
lot
you
more
can't get in
violent,
or
aggressive,
something?
and heartless. If a drunk bee shows up to the hive, one of two things will happen. He will either get a lifetime ban from the hive, or get his arms torn off, wings torn off, legs torn off, antennas torn off, and eyes torn out, and die a horrible and painfully slow death.
Milk.
Oh, them bees get down. Them bees get down. They don't play. Them bees don't play, bro. Let me stop. Damn.
But don't
the
worry,
homie got
it's all
murked.
done for the sake of the colony, since fermented nectar in the hive can cause the entire colony to
Type
collapse.
shit.
Number 6, fruit flies. Researchers at a San Francisco university have found that male fruit flies don't handle rejection very well. The research shows
They
that
gonna
when
get drunk
male
like a
fruit flies are
Mexican dude.
rejected by a potential partner, they actually seek out
See,
alcohol.
look.
Who would have thought that I had so much in common with the fly? Number 5,
Wow, damn.
Verit Monkeys. Now, this is the last
Hey, that's
animal on
me.
the list that belongs in an AA meeting. And the reason why they rank so high on the list is simply because they're not just alcoholics, but they are outright disgusting criminals. When these monkeys can't get their fix from fermented fruit, they turn to a life of crime, stealing alcohol from tourists. And they're damn good at it. They patiently wait in the shadows for
that
the
shit.
perfect opportunity, and the moment a person sets their drink down will be their first
Dumb as
mistake.
hell. About
Because as
dumb
soon as you
as
look
hell.
away, it's already too late. The monkey will
Man, I'm
have its
chasing
greasy
that.
little hands on
Man,
it
look,
and already
pause.
slurping
I
it.
don't even drink, but if a monkey take my drink, I'm chasing him. I'm gonna need my shit back. I paid $5 to $10 for that shit. I'm gonna need my shit back. Damn. Look at this stuff.
Slurping the alcohol down. They do have some of the coolest pictures though, so I'll give them that.
Type shit.
These monkeys are such a problem that the Caribbean island of Saint Martin
Caribbean.
has recently passed a bill that would allow them to exterminate all the monkeys. Apparently all 450 of them. You know, as soon as I said that last part, I realized that I probably could have left that part out. Number 4, the black lemur. Now we're moving on from pufferfish and alcohol and moving on to the hard stuff. Okay, to be fair, pufferfish is pretty insane, but a lot of people already knew that one, so I put that at the top of the list. But let's move on, starting off with the black lemur.
Ugh.
Who would have thought that these cute animals from the island of Madagascar would turn out to be such despicable and heinous creatures?
He did not have to do that.
The black lemur has a diet primarily made up of fruit, but on occasion, it does love to consume a toxic combination of chemicals, which include cyanide. It's able to consume this when it finds a millipede and begins to lightly chew on it. This causes the millipede to curl up and release a toxic chemical
Oh, he's
that is
trying to
meant
get
deter
high.
animals
He's
from
trying to
eating
get
it.
high.
But to
He
the
don't
lemur,
care.
this chemical just signals to
Whatever
the
it
boys
takes.
that they're in for a wild night. Unlike the others on the list, there is actually one health benefit for getting their hands on this dangerous toxin. And after just one hit from the millipede, the lemur begins to drool uncontrollably. They then begin to rub the saliva and toxins all over their body to protect themselves from mosquitoes, which carry malaria.
What?
But don't think it's all business.
What?
The lemurs continue
trying
to
to
take
protect
hits from the
himself.
centipede, consuming more and more of the
getting-
toxin until they are complete.
He getting high, and he ain't trying to get bit by a fly. He just living life. Maybe y'all just need to let the black, whatever you call it, live his life. He just chewing on his centipede. Y'all see how fried he is? He living. He ain't worried about no flies. He just cooling.
Obliterated. It reaches the point that they
they
are
be getting
so
high
high
like a
that the
motherfucker.
only option left is to sleep it off. Number 3,
I'll be sleeping
reindeer.
that shit off, too.
Remember that little red mushroom from the Mario games? As I'm sure you've heard, its real name is Amanita muscaria, and it's insanely toxic and brings on some very intense hallucinations.
Imagine
But
somebody
this
put that
doesn't
on
seem
their
to
head.
matter to the reindeer of Siberia, Russia, which actually go to great lengths to seek it out and consume it. Once it's ingested and the effects kick in, they begin to act in a very strange way.
nah,
They
they
end up
kicking
running
niggas
around
and shit.
aimlessly and begin making strange noises. But the reason the reindeer is so high on the list is simply because
Like them
they are a bad
crackheads.
influence on others. Apparently, humans watched them eat the magic mushrooms, and they made it look so
Bro,
fun
they like
that we just
aliens,
had
bro.
to
What
try
the
it for
fuck?
ourselves.
Bro, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that first person, bro? What is wrong with his face?
Some people
What's wrong
got
with this
incredibly
dude? Bro, he
high
high
and
as a
began to have
bitch.
some of the most
this
intense
where they
and
get
vivid
shrooms
hallucinations,
from.
while others died.
What?
And instead of saying,
don't
you
even
know
look
what,
like-
we took a
his
nail on
head
this
is-
one, boys, and we should probably avoid
Bro,
these
why?
mushrooms from here on out. No. Someone had the brilliant idea of
Nah,
consuming
man.
the urine of the reindeer
Oh,
instead.
no.
Since he believed that the urine would sterilize the toxins but keep the effects of the mushrooms
That's
intact.
about stupid as
And he
hell.
was
You gonna
right.
get high.
And after that, humans and reindeers could go on wild hallucinogenic trips together. Some people even believe that this is how the story of Santa Claus was created. This theory is called the magic mushroom Christmas theory.
That's crazy.
Number 2, Jaguars. I guess even an apex predator needs a break from killing and ripping other animals apart. They do this by seeking out the yage vine, which is one of the major ingredients when creating ayahuasca, arguably the strongest hallucination drug on earth. And once the cat consumes it and the effects kick in, they begin to turn into a big goofy.
Bro, they put his ball sack. Go back, bro. They literally put his ball sack, bro. What the fuck?
BBC caught this all on tape a few years ago, and it's pretty interesting to watch. The native people of the Amazon claim that the jaguars consume this drug since it heightens their senses, improving their ability to hunt. But they're in denial. The cat simply does it to discover things about the universe that he would otherwise not know. Like how Willy Wonka was a serial killer similar to Jigsaw, but instead of doing his experiments on adults, he would do them on children, and nobody ever batted an eye.
Man, what the fuck that got to do with the
parrots? Now this one had to go last due to the severity of the
situation. I would never
in
know.
northern India, these birds are so addicted to opium that the farmers have reported taking
They talking about Playboy Cardi? Playboy Cardi, they smoking you?
To grow the plant for medicinal companies have tried everything under the sun to stop these birds from eating their plants. And it's not uncommon to see a parrot fly away with an entire opium pod to himself. Apparently, a single parrot will come down and take a bite of the opium milk 30 to 40 times a day.
Crazy.
And the sad part is, since opium is a hard drug with very real consequences to health, the moment the parrots become addicted to it, they are as good as dead. Because as soon as the farmers harvest the plant, the birds are left with such horrible withdrawals that it ends up costing them their lives. And parrots falling from trees and electrical lines becomes a common occurrence. But it doesn't stop there. In the following year, once the farmers plant the next batch of opium, the vicious cycle starts all over again, like a never-ending nightmare.
Man, they some fiends, bro. Man, let a parrot come to my field like that. I got something for him. I got something for him. I got something. If y'all like them parrots, go ahead, comment down below. What was your weirdest, most craziest story while being high? I think my craziest story while being high was the first time I was high, bro. First time I was high was this. You know what? No, I'm gonna say that for a story time. I'm gonna catch y'all later, man.